Once again, the media is painting a movement about rights as hate as parents across the country take to the streets over what's being taught to their children in schools. Of course, CTV News here. Real danger in all of this is anti-LGBTQ rallies. They're not anti-LGBTQ rallies, and we're going to get to that. This is about parental rights and knowing what your children are being taught and protecting against teachers that want to do things behind parents' backs, actually without parental consent. This is a big issue for a lot of parents across Canada today. Now, unions have been organizing against parental rights. This is a clip from Press for Truth, Dan Dix's video. This lengthy video has been circulating around the internet lately. It was a leaked video of union organizers organizing a protest against parental rights protests that are occurring across the country today, and they're a city near you. Go check it out. There will be a lot of people in the streets today. 9 o'clock, I think, is the official time for most of them. I think in Vancouver, it's around 11 o'clock. The march will be taking place, and there'll be meetups across the country. Now, organizers of this meetup are saying, please don't engage with counter protesters. This is a peaceful event. Just do not engage. Just be there for the event that's taking place. But we're going to get into this. Now, this is the organizers that were behind this in a few clips that Dan Dix put together.
We are wanting to show a very strong response, countering these protests, to show that, they even think that there's a possibility of bringing what's happening other places here. We're going to be there to counter it every single step of the way.
When they are gathering for their tailgate party in the mall parking lot, we've got a couple seasoned activists who've already said that they're willing to go over and take some pictures of license plates and these are people who are willing to do this.
So that's terrifying that people from unions are trying to organize this kind of behavior. Not to mention, this woman here looks a little bit familiar. She was in one of the shorts that I made earlier this year, and I'm just gonna pop this up because this is very pertinent to this situation. This is a counter protest that took place in, I believe it was June. This was before school let out. Now, of course, this protest is taking place today after school is back in, but I'll just show this this short that I put together earlier this year. Protesters show up in Ottawa just to clarify who are the crazy conspiracy theorists.
They're not going to stop just at schools. These people are a movement. They are allied with white supremacists, anti-Semites. Some people that are coming have swastikas tattooed on their bodies. This is far beyond a transphobic protest. It's a massive fascist movement. Billboard Chris is going to be speaking soon in the States with Marco Rubio and Donald Trump for what I think is being possibly considered a domestic terrorist organization called Moms for Liberty. This is an international thing where people are being flown in from Florida, BC, the east coast of Canada. And so we have to start treating it for what it is.
Parents concerned about what's being taught to their kids in school. So obviously this is pretty ridiculous to hear these conspiracy theorists that are coming from these counter protesters. Nonetheless, people are concerned. These are actual concerns that people have with what's being taught to their children in schools. Now, a lot of parents want to say, hey, we understand that, the LGBTQ, all that stuff exists. Some teachers happen to be of those orientations, but it's inappropriate to talk about these things to children in schools. This is not the purview of teachers. This is teach our kids, reading, writing, arithmetic, these kinds of things. But they wanted to put this sexual orientation and gender identity, SOGI they're calling it, in the curriculum. And this is what parents are upset about. They don't want this in the curriculum. They don't want their kids to be taught this. And the big thing that is terrifying to a lot of teachers is when teachers want to keep information from the parents. They want to not inform parents of children who are deciding to take steps to change their gender in many cases. Now, New Brunswick made a new law where they're not allowed to do that. They're not allowed to have any sort of gender identifiers outside of the norm if parental consent is not given. And this is a step in the right direction. Now, many teachers have been losing their minds over this. Not all teachers, by the way. This isn't all teachers, but there's a concerted effort from some teachers to push this agenda, and parents are just not having it. Now, they're getting support from unusual places, and here's Jagmeet Singh getting together with these protesters, of course saying pride, not prejudice. Of course, nobody cares about, people's orientation. It's not about that. It's about children and protecting innocence. And this is, again, parents want to be able to be the ones to talk to their children about these subjects. And they don't want teachers that could potentially not have the kids' best interest at heart, even though they say that they do. Now, some of these other protesters joining with Jagmeet Singh and the likes and with these unions are these other ones. Workers unite against the far right, fight back against fascism, Marxist.ca. Yeah, you've got that right. You're looking at the individual here holding a picture of Karl Marx. This is what's happening as a counter protest against parents that are concerned about what's going on in their schools. So just take for a moment here and look at the likes of the people who are protesting against parental rights. That's correct. These people are protesting against parental rights, and that's really what this comes down to. Again, here's another picture of one of the protests. This is in Queen's Park, counter protest. You don't own your kids. You don't own your kids. They're not your kids. They're our kids. And this is expressed all over the place. And, this is why the protests came together. It originally started with Muslims actually getting together and protesting against this movement. Again, I put together another short, and I'll show this one here.
Many immigrant communities supported Trudeau. And now what's he saying? He's saying that Muslims are being brainwashed. We're not brainwashed.
Justin Trudeau tries to pull a fast one on the Muslim community.
Mr. Prime Minister, please protect our beliefs. I've heard this concern many, many times, and I know that it is a very real issue. First of all, there is an awful lot of misinformation and disinformation out there. People on social media, particularly fueled by the American right wing, are spreading a lot of untruths.
We're not brainwashed. We know the facts. And now they've crossed the red line. Our children are our red line. Our children, our rights. Leave the kids alone. Leave the kids alone.
Now, this was largely sparked by protests that were taking place during Pride season. It's Pride season now. It's no longer Pride Day, Pride Month, Pride Week. It's Pride season now. It went all the way from the beginning of June all the way until the middle of September, apparently, according to the Liberal Party of Canada anyway, as they only changed their logo after September 11th. That's the thing here. But what's getting people upset is the actual calls for coming for your children. They're actually saying this. And again, I put this together in another short here. It's still Pride Month, and now paraders are chanting, "We're coming for your children." Where may they have gotten the idea for this?
We'll convert your children. Happens bit by bit, quietly and subtly, and you will barely notice it.
The chant was actually the chorus of a song written by the San Francisco Gay Men's Choir.
We're coming for them. We're coming for your children. We're coming for them. We're coming for them. We're coming for your children. We're coming for them.
Of course, that really got people upset, and that video made its rounds around social media. It was on TikTok, it was on Instagram with over 5 million views, that particular video. If you're not watching the shorts, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you like the shorts, I have shorts on the channel, so go check those out. But getting on with the story here, there is no hate group here in Niagara, says Tom Marazzo, just families who are tired of being ignored. Now, the time zones in Canada make this possible. I'm in the West Coast, so I'm catching this as it's just taking off in Eastern Canada, and these protests are organizing, and people are getting ready for the march. And these are concerned families. These are concerned parents that don't want issues happening with their children, of course. And we've heard many cases of serious court battles with parents involved in having children that are being encouraged to transition. There's obviously some very, very concerning laws coming out of places like Quebec, where the supremacy of the parent, which is has been the law of the land forever, the parent, the guardian, ultimately has the right, has been removed from parents in Quebec, and that's a trend that Canadians don't want to see happening more and more. Now, Megan Murphy takes to Twitter to say, I just received the following email via the office of BC's Human Rights Commissioner. And this is in response to the Million March for Kids. And I'm horrified at the language used to describe Canadians holding peaceful rally in defense of children. You are inciting hate and not just spreading misinformation, but libeling tens of thousands of Canadians. I hope you're held to account for your lies and your attempts to silence the free speech and expression of Canadian citizens advocating to protect minors from predatory individuals and industries, and protect the rights of parents to know whether their child is being transitioned at school without their knowledge. And this is what people are fighting for. This is exactly the thing. Now, 80% of Canadians answered in a recent survey where they said, no, we don't want this stuff. So this is really the crux of it. When 80% of people in Canada say we don't want this stuff, and the unions organized with the government and with these Marxists, as we're seeing here, taking to the street, are they really about democracy? Are people like Jagmeet Singh really about democracy when this is the case and this is what's happening? So I want to leave this one here. I guess I have many clips, but we're going to get to this. This is Kamil Al-Sheikh. He is the one who originally organized this. He was on Sheila Gunn Reid's show, and, well, he had this to say about the counter-protests.
Although they're all over the place. There's Pride Day, Pride Year, Pride Month, Pride Sidewalks, Pride phone apps.
Pride
it's as if it's not enough. Pride season, Pride flags, Pride Starbucks cups. And yesterday I was drinking an iced tea and had Pride logo and it says "Love is Love" on it. And I didn't even pay attention. So after all that, your pride is all over the place. You want to disrupt this event by calling a counter protest. I will consider that a threat to our freedom of expression. And I've said that in a video on TikTok, and I've said that officially, that if you are looking to counter this event for moms and dads, teachers, engineers, just parents pulling their kids out of school, a peaceful protest, and you're looking to counter that, not only will be countering, obviously we're going to counter your, adult males in skirts reading gay porn to kids. We're going to counter every project you do in the country because we didn't want to insult you. You had a 40-year honeymoon. We didn't want to, we wanted to respect your views, although we disagreed with them. Okay. Because I'm heterosexual. I only have one male, one female in my head. In your head, there's 500 pronouns. I respected your 500 pronouns because you were my subordinate when I managed 3,000 people. I respected you, but now you're telling me you're not respecting what goes on in my head. And that is a threat to our movement. Now, I'm giving them a chance. If you're looking to counter, expect Pride festivals and every Pride event to get a counter. You want to go down that road? Do you really want to open that can of worms? And I said, and I told them to look into my eyes. This is a peaceful protest. We're not looking to oppress. Why are you still vilifying us and painting us as taboo?
Well, and that's the thing. But we could see the likes of who is doing this, of course. Part of Marxist cultural revolution is his manifesto. He says to dismantle the family. And this is part of that whole process. And we are definitely taking things back. And we are absolutely objecting to this whole concept of disrupting the family, dismantling the family. This is one of the most important institutions in our existence, in our culture, in our entire civilization. So we don't want that torn apart. Blueprint from Canada saying, today is the day parents stand up to defend their children across Canada. We ask Canadians to peacefully flood the streets of our cities and towns at all protest locations. Peacefully go there. Again, if you're going, I'm encouraging people, go check this out. Go there and march. Wave your signs, wave your flags, do your thing. Don't engage with these counter protests. They're not there for good reason. They're there to disrupt things, as was seen in there. If you see anything, there will be strong police presence at all of these locations. If you see anything fishy that's happening within the protest, go speak to an officer. That's what they're there for. Go speak to an officer if you see anything happening, if you feel unsafe for any reason. Go do that. Go there and be peaceful. This is the whole point of this. Peacefully march. Don't want any situations whatsoever. Anyway, we'll leave you with that, and I'd love for you to leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you couldn't make it, why is it that you couldn't make it? Why you couldn't get the day off work? Yeah, sometimes people couldn't get the day off work, but this is the whole point. It's a walkout for a reason. Get out there and do what you can, and let me know in the comments down below what you think of this whole situation, whether it's government leaders, Jagmeet Singh, or union leaders, or outright Marxists showing up against parental rights. Anyway, leave a comment in the comment section down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.